What is up, guys? Nate here. Having my morning coffee. Just got done shoveling a shit ton of snow. Thought I would show you guys some updates on things I have going. Got a few more kitchen knives ground. These are just regular convex satin finish, but I have started polishing up the little finger choil area. I got two of these. This one's getting white micarta. I'm waiting on epoxy, which I didn't realize is like the most vital thing. Last week I was waiting for rivets, and those are for Kydex, and those are essential, and now I'm waiting on epoxy. Let's put the handles on here. This one's going to get purple handles. Let's see, finished up. This big guy is going to get ebony with brass bolsters, so I had to order some pieces of brass that were big and thick enough. This one, kind of a fun project. I was given this blade by an art teacher I had in high school, and he does Civil War reenactments, so he wanted me to put a new handle on it. It had like a split broomstick for a handle, so I took a piece of elk antler and put it on there with a brass guard that's like hammered. I think that looks pretty nice. It looks nice and old. Kind of the beaten up look. I finished it with this like wood hardener I have, so it's kind of sealed up and darkened parts of it, and then I resanded it. So it looks nice and old. That's what he wanted. It's not really sharp or anything. It's just for reenactments and whatnot. I'm gonna darken the brass somehow. I tried it with vinegar and salt water, and I think I'm just gonna have to get some fancy chemicals to do that with. Let's see what else. I have some kind of finished knives here. I'm gonna finish with this boy because that is the pièce de résistance, as one might say. This one's kind of fun. Just a little utility, I don't know, simple utility knife, kind of the minimalist approach. It's got slate G10, which is a little bit lighter than it's showing up on camera, but it's really nice, just like a CC finish. It's got little thin black liners that came already attached to the G10. Got a nice Kydex sheath. Just a simple little drop point with a flat grind. Not sharpened yet. It's got stamped D2 and a Z on the other side. And it's got removable bolts that are flat or Phillips head, which I like. Just a satin grind. Left the mill scale on the flats, so the stamping would pop a bit. I think that looks really good. Just need to sharpen it. I'm going to be putting it up on Gear Bastion this morning. I'm going to sharpen it, take some pictures, get it up on there. Should be relatively cheap. Got another one that's very similar. This one is kind of a Warncliffe a bit. Warncliffe-ish. I guess it's got like forest green peel ply G10. Again, got that Z stamp. The grind touched the Z a little bit, but it's deep enough that you can't really tell, or that you can still see it just fine. And it touched the D2 a bit. So you can't guess these are D2 steel, yes. Peel ply, green, rounded a bit, nice flat grind. Again, mill scale on the flats. I just Scotch-Brighted the shit out of it, and it kind of rubbed it up, made it this like nice weird finish. But the handles are like just big enough for your hand. They're not like hard use, just like you need a sharp edge. I'm gonna make some Kydex for this and put it up for sale. Let's see. Got this one, which needs a little bit of work on the sheath. It's really tight right now, but I think it looks nice. This one is just another little utility knife, slightly different shape. Got 6 aluminum rivets for the handle, or pins, I guess. This is that same slate G10 which I really like. I'm gonna have to find some more of it. I just got it from a vendor at a knife show. This one's got kind of like a slicer grind sort of thing, gets taller as you go towards the tip, so it's nice and thin up there at the tip. And got the Z and D2 for steel type. Really nice grip on this guy. Short handle, but it's fat and it's very flat, so these would be great concealed carry or, you know, whatever. Satin finish spine. Just some gunk on the blade. It's not anything dirty or anything. I'll clean them up before I take pictures and post them. Yeah, this sheath is kind of a bitch. I'm gonna have to work on it. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Sometimes Kydex is finicky like that with designs that don't have a definite like anchor point for the Kydex. So this, it's got an anchor kind of around the little ricasso area, I guess you would call it. So I'm probably gonna have to round that off to get a nice release from the Kydex. Let's see, these are all just kind of in a pile. I did some Kiridashis, sold one of them, gave another away for my buddy's birthday. I have a few left. This one's kind of a little funky shape. If you want one of these, contact me. I'm not going to be posting them up on Gear Bastion, just because like the fees for posting it would be a fifth of what I would charge for them anyway. So, but I have a couple of them. I can make them relatively quickly, about 2 days, and I can have one shipped out to you if anybody is interested. I just cut up a file and polish it. I don't go crazy on the finish. These are just utilitarian knives. I had a friend that wanted one. My mom wants one to hang off her keychain, so they would dangle really well as I'm throwing things around and damaging them. I wanted to show you guys this real quick. I got this back. This is like one of the first things I had done. This is like example number 1 of why you should not use fiber, those vulcanized fiber liners in your knives. This is a blade blank that I purchased and then just put handles on when I was very new to knife making, and I used these fiber liners because I wanted some red in there, and the customer put it in the dishwasher and came out with this, and so now I get to fix it. But those fiber liners just soak up water, expand, contract. You can see they're just a completely different shape than they were before. The G10's just fine. The wood is just fine, but the fiber liners, the wood warped a bit. Also use stabilized wood. But alright, let's see. A little more craziness I got going on here. I'll show you this one first, I guess, because I'm super proud of it, super proud of how it's turning out. Just a kind of, I don't know, old school military knife, I guess. Like just a frontier knife sort of thing, but with modern touches. It's a file, obviously, not ground yet. It is a hidden tang. So tang goes all the way through the stag. And I got a guard on there made out of stainless steel. With the edges kind of chamfered on a few sides. I like this like nice angular look I got going on. Just nice satin finish on everything on the guard. I got like perfect chamfers all the way around. I think it contrasts with the natural stag very nicely. The butt cap is D2. I can get the focus. And it's just rounded off with a nice chamfer on the bottom. And then I'm going to epoxy it all together and then peen that's such a funny word, peen. I'm going to peen the end of the tang over because I softened the whole tang. You can see the temper coloring right there. I just softened it on the stove, actually. Just held the tang in the stove until it turned, I got it to like bluish up in here, because I wanted it to still be a bit hard, but the bottom I got to dull cherry red to anneal it. I actually had to bend the, I had to curve the tang a little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to get it off of here for you. I might show that in a different video. And then this guy, this Chris that you guys saw a while ago, I got a handle worked out for it, and even though the blade's not finished being ground yet, I figured I'd do that after. I found a piece of stag that I think looks really cool. It's got that little like nice little pinky choil there and sweep. And then I have a piece of pronghorn antelope for like a bolstery kind of thing, and then this really sweet guard I did out of a big chunk of copper. Did it kind of similarly to the other one, but it naturally had these rounded edges on it, so I decided to leave those there. And then I hammered the top of it with a cross peen hammer, just in all random patterns. There you go. And then chamfered the edges. Drilled some holes for looks, or if you need to make a spear out of it, I don't know. But I think it turned out really spectacularly. I'm gonna patina the shit out of it, and then sand it back a little bit, and then patina it to get a nice, crazy looking finish on it. I have this this technique I want to try that I remember from like jewelry class in middle school. Where you take a bucket of sawdust and you soak it in ammonia. You put ammonia and salt in it, and then put your copper parts in it, and it gives it a really nice old finish. So there's that one. This thing is just bonkers. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I think if I can get it all together correctly, I think it'll turn out well. I think the grind is going to be the most difficult part to get right. But it's not too bad right now. It's relatively even. I just need to make it look nice. And then still waiting to put a point on it, because while I'm working on it, I don't want to have a sharp point, obviously. And then the star of the, I was going to say evening, but it's morning. Well, it's like past noon, but that's morning for me. Is this big Bowie knife that I've been working on forever. Finally got the sheath finished. It's like dark gray Kydex, and then I have some rubber sheeting that I made a little drop leg thing from. It is the sheet is riveted to that, or is tube riveted to that piece of Kydex on the back of the sheath, and then the whole thing's just bolted on, squeezed down nice and tight. It's rock solid, not going anywhere. Then the top of the rubber has a Kydex plate riveted on the front and back with a tech lock, and so it just hangs from your belt very nicely. And the knife actually comes out really nicely now. It was a little bit stiff at first. It's still a little bit stiff, especially going in. It's a little stiff, but when it's hanging off your belt, I've tested it. You can just grab it and pull, and it comes out. And you see a little chunk of Kydex right there. It still shaves a bit, but I had to round off that bottom portion right there, because there really isn't anywhere else for the Kydex to anchor on. And the blade is scratched up as shit from the Kydex, because I had the sheath in my shop while I was grinding this bottom part, and it just got full of little grit, and I put the knife in there like an idiot, and it got all scratched up. But this thing is a beast. It is, I'm going to grab a ruler real quick so you can see how big it is overall. It's, I think, about 14 inches, but I know people are going to ask, so I want to be sure. So there's a foot-long ruler, so yeah, it's about 14 inches overall. Blade is about 9 inches, 9.5, and about 1.25 inches wide. It's made from a big-ass old file, hollow ground edge with a sharpened hollow ground swedge on it. It's basically just a zero grind, and that gives a really nasty tip profile. Especially since I did the hollow grind and didn't bring it all the way thin at the tip, so it's got that nice convex edge going into the tip, so you get a really interesting kind of intersection of angles there at the tip. So it's real nasty. It's really light at the like top. It's like really handy, really easy to like flip around. Micarta handle, it's kind of like faceted, and you would think these sharp edges are uncomfortable, but they're really not bad. You can grip it as hard as you want and you still don't feel any of the sharp edges. Maybe down here at the bottom, but if you had gloves on or something, it would be totally fine. So yeah, I suppose I just need to play with the finish on this a bit. I might just sell it as is for a little bit less, because like Kydex is a bitch, and it already has a really nice finish on it, even though it's all scratched up. But super happy with how this turned out. Finally got it finished. Don't want to make this video any longer for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check out my Gear Bastion page. Some of these are going to be up for sale really soon. And so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.